Today, we are having our cookies and our milk today. And what does he mean by that? Well, let's get into today's video. Hello and welcome to a special 500 subscriber episode of Bricks and Toys. My name is Brandon, and I'm currently enjoying some gluten-free cookies and some milk. Now, originally, I was going to use the metaphor of cake and eat it too, because in all honesty, that is really how I feel about how lucky I am to be able to reveal these 500 subscriber builds to you guys. And what are the builds that I am unveiling today for the two-part 500 subscriber build series? Well, what they are is the 1989 Batmobile, set number 76139, and the 1989 Batwing, set number 76161. These are two big Batman DC builds that I have heard of, and they're a part of the Batman franchise that I really loved before The Dark Knight came out. The Dark Knight trilogy is still at the top of my list, but Michael Keaton's Batman is just one of the best. And when I found out about these builds, it was a little too late, kind of like that song from the late 2000s, and I never thought it would happen. But I figured if it was to happen, it would have to be the 1989 Batmobile when I hit 500 subs. That would be a perfect build, and it would be at that price range of a good point to kind of show like, hey, thank you for watching. Look at the big things that we're doing, and we're going to continue to do these big things as people subscribe and help support and grow the channel. Now, really quick, just the cringy stuff is in terms of supporting the channel. I just want to say you can now down below hit the thanks button and help support the channel that way. Everything that you guys donate to the channel all goes into a special little box and will go for future builds and future things of the channel. Now, back to this. So, when I originally thought about this, I thought as far as I'd ever be able to go is the 1989 Batmobile from 2019. Because everywhere I went, it was about $480 on average, just for that set alone. And you know, guys, again, thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel, because we got to that 500 mark so quick that all of a sudden, one day I was just doing my builds, I was doing the Venador, just relaxing, I looked down and I'm like, oh shoot, we got to start finding the Batmobile, because this is what I really want to do for the people, this is my vision, and everywhere I went it was... Even used ones were up to upwards of $400, and it's like, I could almost buy one new in-box retired for that price. I mean, come on now, guys. What the heck? Of course, of all the builds that I really desire, a lot of people do as well. So, that's kind of a go-figure thing. And so I just started hitting the internet, just really punching in, Bricklink, eBay, just going through all of my options, and everything was like, the set's $400, the shipping is $80, and then I contacted a local resource here in Vegas, and they were like, well, we got the Batmobile for $600, and I was like, damn. If you guys don't really know, right now, the Bricks and Toys YouTube channel is kind of on a little bit of a hump. Everything is taking its toll, and it is what it is. So right now, that's a lot of money, and I'm like, what are we going to do? And then I hit Facebook Marketplace, and shout out, I don't remember your name, but if you're watching, thank you so much, because on Facebook Marketplace, there was an ad where you can buy not only the 1989 Batmobile from 2019, but 2020's 1989, the Batwing. both of these for $600. Now, mind you, I did have to drive 2 hours into another state, maybe 2.5 hours, and back in the same day. Yeah, it was pretty cool going to a city I'd never gone to before in Arizona, but like I said, we had to drive and come back. Thank you to the seller of these sets and hooking it up. I cannot believe the deal that I got on these sets. When I found these sets, I honestly, as a huge Lego fan and supporter, I was just like, you know what? I cannot I will not try to get him to come down on the price, because when it comes down to shipping, when it comes down to taxes, $400 and $200 is kind of how I do the math on these two, is a amazing deal, because there's still about another $100 to be made on this one, and about another $50 or $100 to be made on this one if they were to stay new in box. So that was just a huge break, and really, really thankful for that. Now, to go on with this video, we are going to be going on with the Batwing. I originally wanted to build the Batmobile first, but due to scheduling, I kind of biffed up, and now I have to build the Batwing first. So what we're going to talk about in today's video is going to be the Batwing, and then in part 2, in a couple days, we're going to do the Batmobile. But by that time, you guys will already have seen a live show of me building the Batmobile. And that is my next thing I wanted to announce is our next live stream will be on November the 6th and at 2 p.m. And I hope to be building the only, so far we know of, new release set, which is going to be the Piranha plant. But if we're not so lucky to be able to get one of those, we will be building the Galaxy Explorer set. This set is getting ready to retire. I was able to get this new sealed in box for about $75. Again, I'll make a YouTube video about all of this, but this will be the other build if we cannot get the Piranha plant that we will be doing live at 2 p.m. on the 6th of November. I still got to schedule it in, but it'll be done by the time this video comes out. So now, on to the Batwing. So the 1989 Batwing was released, like I said, in 2020. It did sell new for about $200. Currently new in box is on average about $250, just depends on the condition of the box. Now, this set did run all the way until December 2022, which is why I feel like it still hasn't gained a lot of value yet, because it's only been retired for about a year, and usually things, need about 2 years or more to start gaining in value. So this is, like I said, set number 76161, coming in at 2,363 pieces. And overall, this is a set that, like I said, I never thought I would ever be able to get. And so when I got the play version of it earlier this year in August, I thought that was as good as it was going to get. But now we are here with this. This set looks to be very, very fun. I'm very excited about it. It does say it is about 19 inches in depth and about 10 inches in height. But we will be putting this actually in a glass cabinet or acrylic cabinet. You guys have already seen the video of me starting to build those cabinets. And hopefully it'll stay dust-free and safe from all elements. It does come with a wall mount from what it looks like, but I don't think we'll be using that due to our display solution. It does come with what seems to be a jukebox goon, maybe the Penguin. It's hard to make out that minifigure, and obviously Batman. Other than that, there's really not too much to say about this set, other than let's go ahead, let's cut open this box, and let's see what we have in terms of the build. Now, this box has never been opened before, so this is going to be a little bit painful. 3 pieces of tape right down the side. Now, mind you, as I cut open this box, I did want to say one thing about the prior owner of these sets. He bought these sets to never be built. He wanted to keep them as good of condition in the box as he possibly could, to the point of, I have one of the original Lego bags from back in the day for one of these sets that he gave me with the sets when I bought them. So that's another reason that we're doing the acrylic display cabinets on these sets, is a way to show the old owner of these sets that I do appreciate these sets. I appreciate him for selling me these sets, knowing what I was going to do with them, and just to keep them safe, because they are, like I said, they are my cake and eat it too, my cookies and my milk. I'm very, very happy to be able to have these sets because they were super desirable on my list. Like, they're up there with the Death Star or Town Hall when it comes to sets. So now let's spill it out onto the table. So overall, pretty good pour. Now let's just go over, let's just look at all the pieces. And just like I figured, there was a little bit of uncertainty with these sets because $600 is a really good deal, but I do have a really good, gauge of character, and I knew that the guy selling me these sets was legit. And originally, when I went to pick up these sets, I was going to open them up and look at them on scene, but I figured I really wanted to save that moment to share with everybody, and his character felt really good, so I didn't feel like that was necessary. So now that I have them open and I'm looking, I can tell you it was not worth opening them up, and I'm glad that I did not do that when it came time to buy these. 2017 Lego group on the bags. Everything seems pretty straightforward. Now we do have the book right here in the original plastic. We do have a sticker element in with us. And this book does have a really good, strong smelling ink smell that these plastic bags used to withhold. Nowadays they're cardboard, and I think the cardboard kind of like fumigates everything. So we do have a nice sticker sheet of about 11 stickers. A lot of small ones, and then the big plaque one, which is really cool. It does say that the max speed is 1,400 miles per hour for the Batwing. Imagine you on 1,400 miles per hour in a Batwing, everybody. Holy cow. Cruising speed's about 800, so who wants to take a ride in Michael Keaton's Batwing? I think I do. That'd be fun. So we do have a QR code from back then, which is only 2020, not too long ago, so we will be scanning that. And it looks like we have 13 bags total that make this set. Now, what's a little tricky about this is the first 12 bags goes in, makes the entire build, as you guys can see. And then bag 13 makes a stand and a minifigure stand, and as well as what I think is the penguin character. I could be wrong. And so when I go into bag 13, I'm going to kind of try to figure out a way to just take the parts that I need out of bag 13 and then reseal bag 13, because I won't be needing that stand as I have the acrylic cabinet that you guys will see later in this video for displaying this set. Now it does reset to build the minifigure stand, and it does reset to build the stand that overall holds it. But overall, the first 12 bags, which makes up the entire build, is 547 steps and 322 pages. So from this point on, I'm going to get organized, and I'm going to go into a build, and what we are going to do is we are going to go into a time lapse. And once we're done with the time lapse, we're just going to go ahead and do an overall review, and then putting this into our cabinet up here behind me and showing you guys how all that works. So with that, enjoy the time lapse. Well, like Cheech and Chong, we are really high right now. Not on drugs, but on a ladder. This is going to be the display case that the Batwing goes into. And before we get into the review of the Batwing, I actually have a couple repairs that need to be made to this display case. Now, when I received this, the box was a little creased up, and the way that they package these, they do a really good job on making sure that it's not crushable. So even though it was a little creased up, everything was fine except for two parts. One, there's a crack right here in the lower corner, and two, there's a crack in this piece right here on the side that holds up the actual Batwing. So, ironically, today of all days filming, they decided that they were going to deliver the parts. And I think they actually had a really fast turnaround process. They were really nice to send me a replacement part. And overall, the whole process of filing a claim, getting the parts here in a good amount of time, I have to say, Shop Pop Displays did really well. So, like I said, guys, in the prior video, they are kind of a unique company, but I really think that they are a good company. So, let's go ahead and let's get these repairs done. So, how I'm going to go about this is just pulling the screws. And I'm actually going to put the Batwing in like through the front. Usually this whole top will come off, but I don't have enough clearance room with the ceiling, so it's better if we can just do it like this. Okay, so all of our screws are taken out, and we can now get that part removed. So I now have the glass panel off. I don't care about fingerprints, and maybe you can see that chip, scratch, well, not scratch, but crack, if I put it up close. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down on the ground, and now we need to also take off one of these internal well, that one was my fault. I just ended up breaking this piece trying to take this thing apart. So that was, yeah, that sucked ass. I did not mean to do that. Okay, that sucked. So be a little bit more careful on the next part. Okay, that part came out without problem. And then this piece. And this is our other broken piece. Not sure if you guys can see, but you can see where it's obviously broken. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a wipe, and I'm going to wipe around the floor of the bottom of the case, because it's when you pull off the protective film, there's a lot of dust. And we're going to give it a nice good clean job. So here's the replacement part. It only took about 1 week to get these parts in. So that is a really good turnaround time. Especially in the days of instant gratification. There is no other satisfaction than just so clean. Okay, so now we're just going to wait for that one part to glue back together. So while we are waiting for things to glue, let's go down and let's get that review knocked out of the Batwing. Okay, so let's start with these minifigures. We have Lawrence the Boombox Goon, we have Batman, and we have the Joker in the black and white tux. I originally thought this was the Penguin for some weird reason, even though it would make no sense. But Lego is Lego, and sometimes I lose faith. But no, Lego is correct. They did put the Joker in this set. I'm just not used to him being in a black and white suit compared to a purple one. So there we go. There is no dual face printing on these minifigures. And the Batman is the same Batman that we get in the 1989 Batmobile, which is our next bit in the series. So overall, really nice torso and leg printing. I really like these minifigures, and they come on the same type of stand that the tumbler comes in with. So now going on to the Batwing itself. Here we go. Now, this Batwing, I am starting from the rear because the rear has a lot of detail, and so does these wings. Let's just go down the sides of these wings. So these wings are pretty thick, which is really cool. A lot of good detail. We do have adjustable flaps right here. We have a really nice building technique that really finishes off the sides of these wings. We have 43 of those radiator grills making up that detail right there. We have, looks like some machine guns, missile launchers, a wonderful cockpit area. And then we have this really nice detail funneling down the back, making it look like a bat. Coming around on this side, it's more of the same thing. Just really nice detail. I am trying to wipe the set down as I go along to keep the fingerprints off of the black, but it's kind of turning out to be more of a good luck situation. Coming around through here to the front, you can now get a front look at all of the details, including these cool little bat fins up here at the top. A more cleaner look at those missile launchers. I think this is another machine gun turret right up here. And a front look of those wings. Really nice. You can access the cockpit in this by just lifting up this whole chunk. It comes right out like so, revealing the incredible interior. I am missing one of these pieces back here. Unfortunately, I got stuck with this piece right here. That doesn't even go to the set. So, Lego does that sometimes. It's all good. No big deal. It is what it is. File a claim and get it fixed. There is a little hatch back here, some crowbars. Sticker element that says Bat Engine. Put the seat back. And there you can see all the cockpit controls. Lego did a really good job on making the interior of the Batwing. And then from this angle, this goes right back on, just like so. Ta-da! Coming around to the other side, it's pretty much the same thing. We got those really nice front, fang-looking front pieces. Really, really cool. Coming down, we do have the plaque with all the specifications. That I will not be using this stand, but I did build it just to have it together so it does not get lost. So besides the missing part, the only other issue I had was when I got to this step, it says to use that 4x6 plate for that piece of the puzzle, but in reality, it only gave me enough of these plates. So I didn't get a full 4x6 plate, but I was able to make that plate work. So that's the only other issue with this entire build. So now, let's go and get it in that glass cabinet. Okay, so I got my piece. I just had to re-glue it right there. This is something that I won't file a thing with the company for. I clearly did it, obviously. And I'm okay with the fact that I did it. I just don't like the fact that I paid money for something and it came broken. But if I paid money for something and I broke it, it's a whole nother animal. So, got rid of the fingerprints. Let's go ahead, let's put it in. So here comes the Batwing. Without losing my balance. Now I don't really know how this goes in, but I kind of looked at the pictures. So at this point I just want to make sure I knock off any dust. Make sure everything looks good. Now we want to go in and we want to put in our minifigure display. I'm just going to line up the display just like this. And here's the display without the front glass on. That's what she looks like. Really freaking clean, cool, and worth every penny. Now let's get this front cover put on. Now let's go ahead, let's put it up. And our last screw. Okay, and one last cleaning, because if we don't use this cleaner on this acrylic, what I have learned in the time since I shot these videos, these cabinets attract dust like magnets. That's what it looks like. So now let's go and give some final thoughts and let's wrap up this video. Okay, so I have the camera pointed upwards so you guys can see the lovely display in the background. And like I said, guys, the issues with this set was the one messed up part and the part not being the same part that it said on the instructions when I was building it. And of course, the biggest issue of all with this set was finding a really good way to honor the prior owner of the set and find a good compromise so I can make this video without feeling too guilty that I bought a set off somebody that basically sat on this for 3 years. And I think with that up there, it is like the perfect compromise. I will go on and take the original box I have behind me, and I will break it down and secure it in some plastic so that box stays in good condition for the long haul. What do I think of the 1989 Batwing from 2020? You know, guys, it's one of those kind of things to where it's like, there's something about the Lego sets that come before 2020 or at about 2020, and when you get into them, you just get into them and they just get done and they're fun and they're strong. And I built that in one day, 2,300 pieces in 6 hours. I could not have had a better experience. It was great. And looking up there, it's even more great. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, that's too cool. So, like I said, right now, this set is about worth what it originally retailed for. So, if you're still on the fence about this one, it's not too late. It's not too hard to get. I definitely recommend it. I have seen this set at Bricks and Minifigs used, and I could tell you they collect dust, and they look nasty like normal black Lego bricks do. I talked all about that in my prior video. So if you do get this set, you might want to look into a cover-up alternative like that. And hopefully, only time will tell because I don't know this for sure, that will reduce the dust by a lot. Now, one thing I do know is I've had those built for about a week or two now, about a week and a half, and the dust on top of them is far greater than the dust inside of them. So that is really good. So I really think it'll keep the dust off and keep that black Lego looking mint for years to come. Fingers crossed. So with that one, that wraps it up for today's video. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there is now a place down below to give thanks and support the channel. Also, on the 6th, we will either be doing the one Lego set that is to be released in November, the Piranha plant, or we will be doing the Galaxy Explorer at 2 o'clock on YouTube. I may do 1 o'clock. I still got to figure out when I want to schedule it. And with that one, comment your thoughts down below. What do you think about the cabinet? What do you think about the case? Have you ever used Shop Pop, and have you had good customer service like I did getting those replacement parts in? And like, share, and subscribe. As usual, if you guys are using a TV and you guys like what you see and you guys want to see the part 2, which is the 1989 Batmobile coming up, find a laptop, find a phone, log in with a Google account, and subscribe and like the video. So with that one, thank you, and you all have a good one.